Hi friends, so we're back for yet another podcast on our channel, and this time I'm joined by a new guest in Gaurav Saha and the old guy Shubhadeep Godo. And so today our discussion will be regarding the Indian Premier League, one of, if not the biggest cricketing extravaganza in the contemporary era. Yeah, so it's been just a couple of months back that the Indian Premier League got over with KKR winning after around 10 years. But again, I mean, a lot of news have been started making the rounds, and people are too much concerned regarding what's gonna be the future. How many retentions, how many trades, how many RTMs? Will there be a mega auction or will it be yet another mini auction? And all these questions coming up, and it's gonna be on these topics that our today's discussion is gonna roll around. So my first question will be to Shubhradeep. Retentions. I mean, in case a mega auction happens, which is most likely gonna be the case this time around, how many retentions do you think should be the ideal number? There have been talks on three retentions, while some have even extended the number to maybe seven or eight. So, how many do you think should be the ideal number? And do you think there should be system for an RTM also?
See, I think it's tough to pinpoint an ideal number of retention or RTMs for any franchise or any season. To be honest, for my side, or it's not ideal to pinpoint a exact one. It depends generally on the performance of the last season of that respective franchise. That's the that we only get sold out. It's the fact that Kolkata is looking for most of the retentions along with the Sunrisers, and you see the two finalists. You see they are the two finalists of the last season, so they know they have performed well. They have their base covered, so they want to continue with the same players. Sunrisers are more really want the international players. Cummins has done such a brilliant job in the captaincy. Henry Klassen was brilliant. Uh, I think the owner also especially mentioned about Abhishek Sharma. He was brilliant in the last season. Shah Rukh Khan was there, the co-owner of KKR. He wanted basically the more Indian and the core base. And to be honest, it's very interesting from my side. Kolkata is looking for the retention of the most retention play number of players because they had a great season last year. It's not the case they had a very old season and
Yes,
still looking for the retention. So just because you have the result, you have the kind of formation you wanted, you can't say that others should go. You have to remember one thing that for me, if you ask me personally, I always love to have more RTMs because that's generally where the players always gives their right
what
value.
value?
If you are if
Yes,
you want to have a player, you go for it. High price, you want him, go for it. But if he deserves the price, he deserves it. He should get it. All right. In retention, there will be a player at the back end of the list who will not get this right amount of share. All right. So RTM is something. I think seven players. I will go with three retentions and four RTM. It's my choice, and
okay.
yeah, that's how you will always kind of gather your seven players of the 11. So mostly you are getting all of your players from the last squad. And as I said, what interesting, have to also remember that 17 seasons have been passed on for the league, and 13 trophies have been divided into three teams. There have been
Yes,
three more teams who haven't really touched the title. So it's basically of one dimensional kind of league, I have to say. It's brilliant league, too much fighting, so many close games, narrowish kind of things, thrillers, entertainment also. But you have to remember, it's all about the 5, 6 kind of franchise basically. Three teams haven't really touched, as I mentioned, the trophy. They're not successful in paper. They're successful, yeah, in basically in patches, but not in the whole tournament. So you have to you cannot spread the whole quality and quantity of the players to all to one franchise. Have to kind of keep it the right portion in everyone. So Chennai wants their Indian core selected. Mumbai also same. They also want their Indian core getting selected. I think, as I said, KKR and Sunrisers. Punjab never good in auctions. They don't really have any planning, so I don't know what they want. They can look for
yes,
auctions in every season. DC and RCB maybe a bit of the both, international and Indian players. But yeah, I think it's tough to say the ideal number as you mentioned, but as I said, three retentions for me in case of the retained players, and then
yes,
four RTMs would be very right? Because of
Okay.
the mostly because of the players, because no, they deserve the prize. At the end of the day, you see what happened with Chahal. The RCB thought, no, we're not going with the prize, and Rajasthan got it. So Chahal got his money, and Rajasthan got his players, and Bangalore didn't think that Chahal deserved that money, so they didn't get the player. That's as simple as that. And I think also heard the news that CSK is looking for MS to be the uncapped player using the loophole of the rule. Those are very interesting things. But yeah, as I said, seven written players for me as for now.
Yes. Okay. Thanks a lot for your opinions. And now I will like to move to our new guest, Gaurav Saha. So my question to Gaurav will be: should you think trades should happen? I mean, rather, do you think should trades happen in case a mega auction happens? Because I mean, in a mega auction, mostly the team is built from scratch with three, four constant players, maybe five, six constant players. But then, do you think trades happen? Last year, we saw the biggest ever trade, maybe in the history of IPL. Hardik Pandya, amidst a lot of controversy and maybe a lot of speculations, all those things, and some of which even carried the season. So do you really think that trades happen? And if trades should happen, then maybe some of the high profile trades which you are expecting this season around.
I think trades should happen, as you mentioned, the high-profile trades, because in a mega auction, when 120 to 130 to 140 crores, when teams will be getting this season. From last year, the budget was 100 crores, and there was no trades because many of the teams have settled captains, or many of the teams have settled codes, but the two new teams were also coming. But this season, if you see the ecosystem where the IPL is standing, many of the teams need captains. Many of the teams need new core players. So I think if a captain gets to the new team, if a player gets to the new team before the auction, he will get a fair idea about what is the role clarity of the franchise is thinking about him. And if they look out for a captain, then for example, let's say Rishabh Pant, if CSK wants Rishabh Pant to be their Dhoni's successor, so if Rishabh Pant goes there, you will get a fair idea about how to build that team, how to get the
Yes.
players around him. So one franchise will also get the bigger ecosystem in the franchise setup,
Yes.
that
So
you get a leader and you build a team around him. So I'm hearing some big news that is Rishabh Pant might move to CSK. So Rishabh Pant and Delhi Capitals have a very good relationship.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
quite a few big trade news have been making the rounds. Like maybe Rohit Sharma might be involved in one of them. KL Rahul to RCB, that's also making rounds quite a
KL
few
Rahul,
times.
KL
Yes,
Rahul,
Rishabh Pant to CSK is the biggest, maybe.
KL Rahul is the most likely, I guess, because KL Rahul has a good camaraderie again with the owners of Lucknow Super Giants, Jeev Goenka. So KL Rahul and KL Rahul is also a Bengaluru boy.
Yeah, he
So
was
in
there
all
in RCB
likelihood,
also. He had a successful season in
yeah, yeah,
2016.
yeah,
Local boy, and maybe
yeah. Local boy.
uh, he might
He has a
decide
good
to go there.
relationship with he has a good relationship with Virat as well. You have to consider in that case as well, because Virat wants captain in RCB. Everything is decided by Virat. So if Virat once wanted Fab du Plessis as a captain, that's why they chosen Fab.
Yeah, and
So if
same for maybe Rishabh also, because he is very much close to MS,
yeah,
and I mean
yeah. Rishabh
also
also
much
went
the
to
successor of MS in Indian colors
yeah, yeah.
also. So
Rishabh
he has
also
a good
played with
camaraderie with
MS.
MS.
Rishabh also played with MS together, and he also went to MS Dhoni's
Yes.
home. It's a very good
So
connection.
yeah, so I mean, I think maybe we will get another couple of huge trades like the Hardik Pandya trade last year, and let's see the repercussions after that. But anyways, that's a different topic. So now the next question to Shubhradeep. So I mean, yesterday I was reading an article on CricBuzz, and I mean, I saw that maybe the IPL is gonna have a take on the foreign players who these days, I mean, some of the foreign players right before the IPL they abruptly decide to withdraw from the league, and what happens is this disrupts the balance of a team, because once the auction is done, once the season has started, um, you just can't get replacement players that easily, especially in the budget of the player who's decided to withdraw. So maybe the IPL might decide to take some strict actions in case any player decides to do so. So what's your take on this thing?
Oh, absolutely right. I think Kavya Menon mentioned this kind of point in the meeting, and he was damn right, bang on target. You should not allow this for a long time. It has been going on for a long, long time. I'm so many players have done it. Withdrew from the IPL right before the just a week before. He said, "No, I'm not coming. You will do
Yeah,
your bit
one of the
now."
biggest examples I remember is Mitchell Stark in 2018. He withdrew, KKR had to pick up Tom
Yeah,
Curran,
yeah, but he had a
and
reason. I
the
think he had
entire
a
balance
reason
was
of
disrupted.
I think we had a reason, bit of an injury reason, but there was Jason Roy, 2022 and 2024. So he twice he said no, I'm not coming,
Yes,
and that's just before the start of the IPL. So you were saying just do your job, do your preparation, last minute preparation. But say Kolkata, Jason Roy was obviously their opener at that point of time, so they didn't have Phil Salt, but they realized that Jason Roy is coming, so have to get a backup. And the problem with I guess is Warendo Hasaranga has also a thing, but I understand with thing because he has an injury period. Shakib did it in 2023, David Willett did it, Gus Atkinson did it, and
yes,
mainly because of the England players and Australian players because they have to kind of keep in mind of the test matches. First of all, if you are really want to be part of the test squad, brilliant. You love the format, then don't sign for the auction. At the point of time you get selected, the teams actually start planning for the whole franchise. The playing 11s, the top fours, then the impact player rules comes in, and all the kind of things. And suddenly you say, so say, when the Hasaranga goes for Sunriser, they didn't look for any any leg spinners, international spinners. And then suddenly you say, when this is not coming, now you have no one. You have Washington Sundar, and you see what happened with the Sunrisers. They were struggling with the leg spinners and the spinning department last season, and the same happened with
yes,
many teams. Ricky Ponting also spoke about the fact that some of the players also missed the business end of the tournament because of the international commitment. You have to remember one thing that when you come to the IPL, you have to give a full kind of a data. Where are you going? Where are you keeping? You see what happened. Ralston Roy, Josh Butler went off, and they put
yeah. They
from
had to
Kerala.
play Tom Kohler, Cadmore, and I mean
Didn't
the balance was gone.
yeah, didn't click actually.
You
He
just can't
struggled, and
replace someone of the caliber of Josh Butler so easily.
it's not about Butler to be my point. To be honest, it's about the player's horizontal thing because the planning has been done. The
Yes,
player is set in the whole team, and suddenly it's not easy for the player himself actually to come and suddenly perform just before you are going to the playoffs. So Menon was absolutely right. You should ban the players. Should ban the players for 4 years, and they will see they will start doing these preparations quite well. Sometimes it happen. What happens is you take these auctions quite for granted as a player. Saying okay, let me see whether I'm going for a big money. If I'm not going for a huge purse, okay, I will not come. If I'm going for a huge purse like for 12 crore, 10 crore, I'm going. So I think that should take a kind of decision should be made on the kind of department or point. And yeah, ban for 4 years, ban for 5 years from the IPL. That would be the right thing.
yes. So I think yeah, there was quite some serious discussion on a pretty serious issue. And so moving forward to our last question, it was a rule which was introduced a couple of years back in the 2023 IPL, the impact player rule. I mean, it was, I guess, if I'm not wrong, it was first introduced in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. Before that IPL, the BCCI just experimented with that rule, and then they decided to implement that in the Indian Premier League as well. So, and in the last two seasons, we have seen teams play with that impact player rule. Maybe some teams have made pretty good use of the rule, while some may yet not have found out how to use that rule optimally. But going forward into the next season, the IPL Governing Council itself is yet to take its decision on whether to go on with this rule or scrap it off. So, Gaurav, what's your take on that rule? Should it stay or should it not?
I think impact player rule is if you think of a commercialist point of view or a business point of view, then impact player rule brings a lot in the table.
Yes,
Because if you see Big Bash as well, there is also X Factor rule. So
yes,
in IPL as well, impact player rule batters are going all guns blazing, and runs have been scored like 250, 260, even
Yeah, I mean
370.
that impact player rule definitely was one big reason why we saw all those Cankuli ki Mankuli in
Uh,
IPL 20 in IPL
all of
2024.
them, 250, 260. They have been chasing 250, 270 as well.
Yeah, batters
And
have freed up a lot in their mindset, to be honest.
yeah, and you can
And
also
also, I
play
think it promotes Indian youngsters as well. It gives another Indian chance to play in the
another Indian
game.
chance to play. And you can also play like eight batsmen,
Yes.
nine all round, nine batting all rounder as well at nine. So a lot of batting options and all rounders. I think is not getting opportunities. Players like Shivam Dubey, Washington Sundar, players
Yeah,
like Riyan Pradhan,
Even Abhishek Sharma, he
Abhishek
didn't bowl a
Sharma,
lot at Sunrisers.
Nitish Kumar Reddy.
In a parallel scenario when there would have been it would not have been an impact player rule, he would have surely bowled a couple of overs in every game.
Even someone like Rahul Tewatia is not getting to bowl,
Yes.
and this creates a lot of problem in the Indian cricket, because in Indian cricket's point of view, it is not good if you don't have a good set of all-rounders as a backup of someone like Hardik Pandya, Akshar Patel, Ravindra Jadeja. You have not a good pool of backup and bench strength. So I think it is time to reconsider this rule, because in the betterment for the betterment of Indian cricket, I think in the impact player rule should be scrapped, and it should be 11 versus 11, because all rounders need to get more opportunities and need to get bowl to get themselves a better platform in the international cricket, to set up their career as well. But if
Yeah, the impact
BCCI,
player rule, I mean, it sort of hides the weakness of a team which doesn't have that much of
I
good
think
all
if India
rounders, to be
had
honest.
won the T20 World Cup, the rule would have been scrapped, because India won, the revenues are getting higher, the stocks are getting higher. In that
Yeah.
case, BCCI is making more money as well. So in that case,
So,
for the entertainment perspective, it is good, but for the betterment of Indian cricket, BCCI need to reconsider this.
Yeah,
to
definitely. So
be
For
honest,
me,
you
it should
let's.
be
mentioned about
scrapped.
the yeah, you mentioned about the big bash, and actually the rule or power surge that they use, or 4 overs power play in the
Yeah,
first, and then two
four
Yeah,
overs in
overs and
any
two
bowling
overs
mode.
later on in the innings.
later on.
That's
Yeah,
the greatest tool, I think. That's the biggest tool. As you can use the 2 overs at the brilliant time. The batting side can use it at the death overs or at the middle overs, whatever they want. They can feel that can free up their arms, so use the power at any point. That's a great rule. Impact player rule, I'm not really a fan of it. I saw
yes, yes,
TNPL
yes.
in TNPL using the same rule. I'm not really a great fan. To be honest, it just takes out the all rounder, as you mentioned. No
Yeah,
contribution
yeah,
for
yeah.
the all
All
rounder.
round,
So
it just
I hope
Yeah,
that
finishes the all rounders.
yeah, as I said,
yeah.
I hope that
So
consider that rule and use the power surge. That's a great rule. Big Bash has brought out.
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, we have had our discussion on four important points, and now let's see what comes out once all the points are finalized after that BCCI meeting yesterday. So once the rules get finalized, we will again try to make a video discussing the probable retentions from each and every franchise for the next IPL season. Till then, I think it's enough for today. And thanks to all our subscribers and all our watchers who have, I mean, showered so much love and blessings upon us. Keep loving, keep supporting. Please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you can get the notifications for our future content. Till then, goodbye. Cheers.
cheers.
Thank you.